Hey, it's Mike with TechBB. I'm going to try to answer two common questions today. One about, is this a good deal? And the other one is about sponsorships. Now, I get, people right before last minute, they need somebody to talk to. I don't mind helping you out, but I'm going to try to give you some of the kind of the logic and thought process that I go through to determine, quote, is this a good deal? Okay. Say, for instance, you're about to buy a paintball gun off of somebody, okay? And a loader, and maybe even a tank, okay? To figure out if it's, quote, a good deal, the first thing you got to do, take a look at the gun itself, find out what model gun it is, and do a little searching around on the internet to see what that gun is selling for. Let's say, for instance, it's a SL66, okay? We'll just throw one out there. Check around on eBay. That's a really good site to figure out what the guns are going for. Check around on other websites if the gun is still for sale. And compare the price that person is trying to sell you the gun at versus what they're going for new. And there's some things that you can almost like with a car or with anything else like that, there's certain things that if they don't have, you can deduct, basically down from the full price. Okay, say for instance, okay, let's pick another gun out here. Let's pick out, let's say like a DM7. Okay, DM7s, I think they're selling for like somewhere around $1,000. Okay, so you got one guy trying to sell you his DM7 for, for $800, and a DM7 you see brand new online is $1,000. Okay, you start doing the research on it. Okay, the one with $1,000 comes with the box, manual, warranty card, everything's brand new, no scratches in it. Does the gun have scratches in it? Yes, it does. Start lowering the price. Is the gun have all the original parts with the original box and the ASA and the warranty card? Everything original in the box? Nope. Time to lower it down a little bit more. Is there anything broken with the gun? Are the eyes broken? Has it been modded in any way? If the answer yes, lower the price a little bit more. What are some other things? If they did like mix and match parts, which is for a lot of people a huge turn off because that means they've gotten down into the gun, taken apart some electronics and stuff like that. Generally, there can be pinched wires and stuff like that. Anytime you start seeing people mix and match frames, mix and match parts, it usually just leads to more trouble if the person doesn't know what they're doing. If they did that, lower the price a little bit more. Some of the other things I can think of too is, how long have they used it? What quote did they say upgrades did they put into it? Well, sometimes in many cases upgrades aren't even upgrades; they're downgrades. Did he do anything to it that could void the warranty? Did he try to hack into the programming? Did he get certain parts of it anode, which in some cases can indeed void the warranty? So if they did that, lower the price a little bit more. So that's some of the first thought process that I go into. I find the cheapest price that I can find the gun new, take a look and see what they're going for used. Then whatever they're going for used, I start to use that price and see what they're selling for used. Okay, if there's a gun out there, let's say like a DM7, and it's out there and it's on the market, and you're seeing that they're roughly selling for about $700 to $800, and I'm just throwing a number out there, with the box, with the manual, but used, but in really good condition. Well, the person that's trying to sell you their gun is not in good condition and doesn't have the box or any of that stuff. Well, you want to take the used price and drop it down from there. Okay, something else too with loaders. Brand new loaders, Halos and Reloader Bees, I think right now is selling for anywhere between $80 to $100. And if somebody's trying to sell you a loader, well, you need to take a look at it. Okay, is the lid, does it have the lid on there? Is the lid broken off? Do they still have the lid? Do they have the lid pin and the lid spring? Any cracks in the shell, cracks in the front, cracks in the battery door, pinched wires, is it missing parts inside? All of this stuff, if you buy it, you're going to have to go out there and buy it. And a $70 loader that you think you're getting $30 off that requires new anti-jam beads, a new drive cone, a new battery door, and stuff like that is going to end up costing more than a brand new one. So definitely take that into consideration. Something else with tanks. Find out what kind of tank it is. Crossfire and Custom Products seem to have the highest resale. They got great warranties, great service, but they seem to have the highest resale. With the tank, figure out what the hydro date is. Typically, with most carbon fiber tanks, it's 5 years from the date that's stamped on the bottle, and see how much time you're going to get with it. Okay, if the tank sells for brand new at $165, you're buying it for $140, but in a year and a half you're going to have to send it out and get it hydroed for $25. Well, you may just want to save up that extra $25 and just get something brand new. Now, if you're getting it for like 80 or 90 or 100, well, then you might be onto something, or maybe 110. That's a pretty good deal because, send it out to get it hydroed and serviced, get it back, you're still a couple dollars ahead. So that's the first thing I'll talk about in terms of getting a good deal. And I'll tell you something else. Huge resources out on the internet, free of charge right now. If you have questions about a gun you might be buying, or a board, or you have you're wondering about, you're buying this type of gun and this type of board, and you don't know if it's a good deal or not, or this, that, and the other. Go to the manufacturer's website and download the product manual and print it out. I know Dye, Bob Long, they all have great manuals on their website for you to download. This is a great resource of information. This is how I go and I research before I go and buy a gun. I always go and download the manual and read the manual from front to back. It's going to tell you everything about the gun. It's going to tell you how to take it apart, the modes that are inside, how the board works, how to adjust the trigger, the operating pressures, how to take apart the reg, how to take apart the low pressure reg, feed neck, and eyes and detents and everything. It's going to tell you everything. So if you're about to buy a gun that you've never owned before, I highly recommend going and downloading the manual off of the manufacturer's website. Print it out, study it for maybe 20-30 minutes, see if that looks like something that you can handle. And if it's got an aftermarket board, go and download the manual for that board and take a look at it. Okay, if you're buying a particular board and with the rate of fire changes and the board that comes in on the gun needs to be updated or needs to be replaced, well, that's $140 to replace it. It's also, maybe $25 or maybe sometimes even $20 to ship it out, get it flashed, and get it back. So is this a good deal or not? You got to do the research on it. Every situation is different. Every loader is different. Every tank is different. Every gun is different. Does it have the stock parts? So you got to start from the top and work your way down. You got to do your own research. Okay, see what they're selling for on eBay. See what they're selling for on the websites. Selling for used, selling for brand new. What the brand new ones are this much. The used ones that are in really good condition on the box are this much, and you just have to factor it down from there based on what you see is basically brand new or like new in the box condition versus what you're buying, and start adding down.